The second studio album from the Chicago-born singer-songwriter and R&B artist Brian James Sledge, aka BJ the Chicago Kid, presents an incredibly tender, sensual and intimate album that's wholly dedicated towards the theme of love, but isn't overtly sexual or in your face in terms of blatant lyricism or over-the-top terminology. Instead, what is presented is a delicate piece of work that has plenty of appeal. However, there are a few reasons that do prevent me from wholly embracing this album. The theme of intimacy, like I said, is the driving force behind this album, and it's handled very well and streams into different territories of love, whether it's the recognition of a relationship that is imperfect and full of ups and downs but BJ wouldn't want it any other way in the song Shine, how love becomes replaced with the search of intimacy minus the attachment that love brings in the song The New Cupid, to the song Jeremiah / World Needs More Love, his infatuation and ultimate desire to be with a woman he loves yet he's unable to have. Many of these songs have a good foundation within them, and for the most part many of these tracks stick with the listener. However, one of the frustrating things that becomes blatant when examining the lyrics is how thin on the ground many of them are. The more detailed tracks are desirable, especially when aligned with those where the structure is a lot more basic. The best example where detail is plentiful is in the song Church, easily the best song on the album, where BJ is tempted by this alluring, attractive woman who is desperate to have sex with him. However, due to his strong religious convictions, highlighted by the fact that tomorrow he's off to church, and despite trying to stave off his urges, he finds himself unable to do so and is racked with uncertainty as to whether this will work against him in the long run. And when laced with the sexy electric guitar and punchy drums and lingering bass line, it's easily a standout moment on the album, and the guest appearances from Chance the Rapper and Buddy make the song all the more appealing. But when the lyrics are thin, they stand out like a sore thumb. Man Down's lyrics don't necessarily have meaty lyrics, but the simple theme of motivation, great hook and aggressive presentation is pretty decent, despite some of the auto-tuned vocal delivery grating on your nerves. And Woman's World suffers the same problem, but the simple theme and earnestness of the delivery is rather sweet, and I buy BJ's sentiment. However, where the album really loses points is in two songs, and they're the most insufferable of all. Crazy being obnoxiously delivered, constructed of about 8 words, and is as far away from the album's main theme as possible, and The Resume, easily the worst song on the album, is led by this vocoder-driven instrumentation which carries on all throughout and is beyond insufferable. The vocal delivery is entirely robotic, and one of the biggest crimes, guest vocalist Big K.R.I.T is planted in the intro, and that's it. No other contribution is made, and he is entirely wasted. Instrumentally, the album is pretty decent, with a great emphasis on electric guitar melodies that have a lot of appeal and punchy drums that hit home on the R&B elements of the album, although I would have liked it if the album would have opted for more organic drums as opposed to electronic drum beats, a piano that provides a great deal of soul and sweet melodies to boot. Check out Shine, Woman's World and Wait Till the Morning as examples, and synthesizers dotted about that give the album added flavour, complementing all the different genre blends, or as the main crux of a song's foundation, Man Down being the best example. The guest appearances are rather hit or miss, it depends on what song you land on. Like I said, Big K.R.I.T is easily the most mishandled and weakest inclusion. Kendrick Lamar shows up on The New Cupid and he's alright, not his best work admittedly. Isabella on the song Love Inside is stuck doing a hook in a whispered French delivery, which is sultry, but really you could have got anybody on this one. Chance the Rapper and Buddy are easily the standout guests on Church, and Eric Ingram appears on the track Jeremiah / World Needs More Love to give a spoken monologue in the middle of the track. Overall, it's a good album, but I certainly think it could have been more meatier lyrically, more sensual instrumentally, and used some of its guest vocalists better. Also, get rid of Crazy and The Resume, and that would also benefit this 15-track album. Overall, I score this album a 72 out of 100.